Hello there. In today's video, I want to talk of how the last weeks or months of my push-up journey went, talk about some of my personal records in different areas, different aspects, different looks at this, and also project a bit of thought on how will the last quarter or the year look in the matter mostly of this challenge. So, not to waste your time, the video you're watching is part of a series where I speak to you about my experience, my lessons, and all of this stuff coming from my challenge, which is to do 100,000 push-ups in this calendar year 2024. And by far now, the challenge is going great. Yesterday, I've hit a mark of 71,000 push-ups, and we're not even done with the September. And I'm left with October, November, and December to do less than 30,000 push-ups, which is way more than I planned, because going with the plan, which was to start at 5,500 and go up only 500, at least, of course, 500 every month, that would leave me with 35,000 push-ups for those last 3 months, this last quarter, which is like an information that I'm very likely to manage to do this challenge, which is right now living in my mind and heart, showing me what consistency can do. That's why I'm talking about this. That's the main idea why I record all of those thoughts that you will hear today in the video. It's an example, a perfect example, the best example I can provide of how consistency works in life. If you show up every day, every single day, and do the work, no matter the amount, if it's at least over the barrier of the minimum, you're guaranteed to succeed. Well, as I see that I will go way over 100,000 push-ups, I can admit some of my flaws about this challenge, which is that I've cheated once. If you are an older viewer of this channel, you may recall my video from this series called Injury. There was a time where for a little bit over a month, my left forearm was injured. For the first week, it was hard to even exist. And the day the injury happened, I couldn't even change my clothes because it was on the university PE lesson. I couldn't even change my clothes. I couldn't move my arm, rotate it in this direction. After a week, I was able to function, but I was unable to do one thing: push. Especially when your wrist is in this position. Guess which exercise makes you push with your wrist in this position? Of course, it's push-up. What I was doing is that I was doing assisted one-arm pull-ups, push-ups, of course, using my couch you may see behind me. And to be honest, I've told you about this, but I didn't tell you that I doubled the amount while being injured. Well, those push-ups were hard, those push-ups were very challenging, more challenging and more exhausting than the normal ones for me. And some stupid way of thinking made me think that I'm using one arm, so it's 2 times harder, so I can double it. Well, of course, it's all on me. I didn't make other people lose something due to me basically choosing to do this. But I believe that now I can share with you, because even though I've cheated, even though we would have the amount of push-ups I've done that time in the past, I will still do over 100,000 push-ups, which scared me at this moment of injury that I will fail to do this due to some random event. The last couple of minutes were pretty going with the idea of responsibility that I've read in the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, which will end up in a separate video, so it's not relevant to talk about it right now, but you may know what's coming to this channel. So going to those personal records is that I've done basically 3 records in the last upcoming weeks. One, of course, is the monthly amount of push-ups I do. Because, of course, I'm going over and over every month. And I can't recall any number from any month, excluding August, which I can. And I can because it's a symbolic amount. It was precisely 10,770 push-ups. And why is it so iconic? It is because the push-up challenge, the push-up way of the fact that I was doing push-ups and counting them and making higher and higher amount started in August 2023. And that is when I did 770 push-ups. Which means that in one calendar year, 12 months, the consistency of doing push-ups in 95 or more percent of days, definitely more, 98% of days, pushing myself day after day after day, the consistency in doing that allowed me to increase my monthly amount of push-ups I can do by 10,000. Show me a 20-year-old that can do 10,000 push-ups in a month. Of course there will be some, but it's an achievement. Something I will definitely tell in the last video of the series after it's done and I will succeed. Show me a 20-year-old who's done 100,000 push-ups in his life. Show me a 20-year-old who made it in a single calendar year. But let's leave it for the future. Coming back to the records, this was like an obvious one because that's a trajectory that I simply put to my life. Put to this challenge, and I'm not going to break it. But there were also 2 other records. One was daily amount of push-ups. Guess. It was 600 push-ups in a single day. I'm heading for the amount of 770 with this. I want to achieve it someday, but I haven't done it yet because it will also be iconic that the amount I've done in the first month, I will now do in one day. But of course, 600 push-ups in a day. It works with your mind in a so good way. Like a couple of months ago, I wouldn't even believe it's possible for me to do this. And it works in a so good way. Especially that those push-ups aren't that easy for me right now. And that will also be the topic for the separate video, or even 2 I have in mind, but I'm now bulking. And as I record this video, I'm around 99 kilos. Yeah, it's not easy doing push-ups with that weight, but why would it stop me? The last record I can tell you about is a challenge, a separate form of challenge. I don't recall talking in depth on this channel, I might have mentioned it, but it's a thing taken from Can't Hurt Me, from David Goggins' book. I had to pause because I had to recall the English title. That is called a 2-minute challenge. I believe it was from the book. If not from the book, it might be from one of his interviews. But the rules of the challenge is basically that you put 2 minutes on your phone timer, and smash as many push-ups as you can do. This challenge is something I do around once a month, maybe once 2 months. It's not a weekly practice. The last time I did it, like in the past, I've done 120 push-ups throughout those 2 minutes. Of course, those were quick push-ups, not the perfect form, but you know it. At that moment, my limit was basically only my strength. The last half a minute looked basically like me doing 3 push-ups and having to rest because I can't catch a breath. 2 push-ups, rest. 2 push-ups, rest. And I've pushed to this 120. But I've done this challenge once again last week, and I've hit 195. Yeah, I know. I also wanted 200. But the thing is that my phone rang before I was exhausted this much. So basically, doing all those push-ups, doing this challenge every now and then made me strong enough to go for the amounts. Of course, I've rested throughout this, or maybe 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 times, I don't recall. But so of course I had the place to cut time and do more. But in the past, while I was doing this challenge a couple of times, every time the strength was my limit. This time, of course, I could, the strength limited me to waste some time. But when the phone rang, I felt like I'm capable of more. You may do this challenge after you watch this video, especially if you are in a comfortable place to do so. If you do, type in the comments what score you've achieved, and maybe next month, maybe in 2 weeks, repeat it. See whether or not you've made yourself better. And I will be very happy to see you comment, hey, I've done this amount of push-ups in 2 minutes. Is it good or not? So let's sum up with the trajectory for the upcoming months. So, of course, as I've mentioned, I will fulfill this challenge. It's not that it's already done, but I am confident with this consistency I've achieved that it will happen. If I don't lose an arm throughout those 3 months, or I don't know, end up in a hospital for multiple weeks, I will do this challenge. And I don't project myself recording many videos of this series. Maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe only 1, we'll see. But the thing is that I'm already better than I've planned. And I will suppress, that's how we call it? Sorry. I will get over 100,000 push-ups. If you told me 1 year ago that, man, you will do over 100,000 push-ups in a year, no, I wouldn't. I don't have any strength enough. I'm not strong enough. Sorry for mumbling the language, but as I've mentioned many times, English is not my native language. And sometimes I have to recall myself with the proper word or phrase. But coming back, I'm planning to bulk even more. As I've said, this will be a topic for a couple of videos. So those push-ups won't be easy. But who said that things we do should be easy? So I plan to do this amount of push-ups I've planned. I don't know whether or not I will push to the biggest limit, or will I do myself a little vacation for a couple of days at the very end of the year to prepare myself for something for the new year, 2025. Which is also the mystery for me right now, because I don't know what to do, and maybe you will have some ideas. But how I see it is that either I go with staying at this certain level of push-ups to basically still hit big amounts but slow down a little bit. The other option is to go as far as I can go. Maybe it will bring me to doing a million push-ups in 3.5, maybe 4, we'll see. We would see, I don't know. I've also strongly considered buying myself a pull-up bar and doing a challenge on pull-ups right now. By far, I'm pretty shit at it. It was only like a month, maybe 2, since I've brought back pull-ups to my normal training plan at the gym. And I can already see the results, but maybe if I would buy myself a pull-up bar and start doing pull-ups for the last, I don't know, a month or 2 of this year at least, maybe we could start something like 1,000 pull-ups a year, or maybe 5,000 pull-ups a year. You may write down in the comments what you think about it. So, if you were to take away one thing from this video, is that consistency can make you literally move mountains if you give yourself enough time. Now go and make your way to a better future.